Welcome back, everyone, to the show. This is the X's and Joe's show. My name is Izzy. That's X. And today we are back. And today we are going to talk about the draft. First things first, we want to just cover an overall basis of what happened during this draft, some notable shout outs from specific teams that really put in some work during this draft, and maybe talk about some teams that didn't do so great during this draft as well. But after we get done talking about that, I think we're gonna go on a little fanboy, and we're gonna talk about our team because you know what? At the end of the day, this is our team, and we try to remain as unbiased as we can. But I think it's our time to actually embrace this and just talk about the Pats. You know, so first things first, X, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Excited. It's back. We're back. It's been a little bit since we've actually got on this, so it feels good to be back on here, man. I'm a little tan. Went to Puerto Rico, a little vacation, but I'm ready.
Good, man. Yeah, outside of this, we all got lives and whatnot, so it happens sometimes, and we've been away for a little bit, but now that we're back, well, let's talk about the big things here. So first things first, I really want to shout out just a couple teams and go a little bit in depth into what they did during this draft. So the first team that I want to talk about is the Miami Dolphins. This draft for them was hands down the best draft that they've had in such a long time.
Oh yeah.
They they are, and I think I can safely say this, they are the only team that met every single need that they needed for every position.
Besides New
And
England, but yeah.
besides New England, but for the most part, they met every single need. And that's all you can ask for, especially during the free agency and especially during the draft. These are the things that need to be done, and they did it this time. First things first, I want to talk about their number one pick, Jalen Waddle. What a pickup. First of all, Jalen Waddle is reuniting with Tua, and that added some value to that wide receiver core. I gotta tell you, man, I'm excited to see them back together again, and that's really gonna put some depth on that wide receiving core. It's gonna be exciting.
I'm not too excited about it because trying to cover that guy is going to be a headache. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's fast. He's very dynamic. The injury hampered by the injury kind of sucked a bit for him. His counterpart won the Heisman, but if he was full healthy, maybe we're talking about him winning the Heisman. Waddle's a beast, man. He has a lot of Hill vibes, and not looking forward to seeing that guy 2 times a year. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the main issue. And again, we're gonna go into what the Pats did to maybe try and combat that a little bit, but we'll go a little bit more in depth into that later. But also the fact that the Dolphins traded up to get back into the first round again after that pick for Waddle and get Jalen Phillips. Now, I like the pick. I like the pick. Jalen Phillips from Miami. He is a great edge rusher. And the only issue that I see with this is the fact that he previously walked away from the game due to concussions.
Mhm.
And he he has a really good career. He had a really good college career, and with just some numbers here that I can give you guys. He got 42 quarterback pressures just on 542 snaps just last season alone for Miami. So he did well last year, obviously, but with that being said, that's a big gamble, I think. with something like that, because obviously with a lot more research that's coming out with CTE and all of this stuff, it really affects people. So I don't know if they're going to get a lot out of him, or if it's even affecting him now at this point. But I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think it's a high risk, high reward situation. I think the kid has a crazy motor and he can definitely rush the passer. I think they address the need there. I think it's a high risk, high reward. I think a little bit raw, but I think he can get into his own. He's got a good head coach in Brian Flores. He ran the defense for New England, so I think he's in a good spot. He's in a good spot. Just high risk, high reward for that kind of player.
Yeah, and that's it's a double-edged sword, I want to say, because it's like he's a great edge rusher and really again high motor, but also the fact that with that position too, you're going to see a lot of contact,
Mm-hmm.
a lot more contact because you're rushing that edge, trying to get around, you're most likely going to be the first person to run into the running back, if he's rushing outside of that, or even inside, so it's like, what can happen from there, so again, those are just two that really stuck out, as far as this draft for them, and that's just from the first round itself, and then from there they started working on, they picked up a safety in Jevon Holland from Oregon. And then they picked up a lineman, Eichenberg. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. Eichenberg from Notre Dame. They picked up a tight end as well, Hunter Long. And then Larnell Coleman, a offensive tackle. So, they're really working on the lineman aspect. They're really working on this offensive line and
Mm-hmm.
trying to get it to work,
Yep.
and they're still again trying to rebuild. And I gotta say that this draft really put them a notch higher than what they were last year for sure. They really covered down and got their needs.
Yeah, I think my favorite pick is the Holland pick. I mean, he's a good secondary player, and take a gamble on a player that had some injuries, and I think he's a stud. I think getting him where they got him, I think is a great value, and I really like that pick. I think that was my favorite pick for their draft. I mean, Waddle, great. They had a pick high. They took a gamble trading up, but Holland, I really like that pick from the Dolphins for sure.
Yeah, and on top of that, you got to think they really have been working hard to stack up that the cornerbacks as well. So I think that was a great pickup too, especially the fact that they were able to get that in the mid to early second round.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
he's good.
definitely a good pickup from them. Again, we're working on that line. And I thought it was really great them picking up Eichenberg as well. And if you read some of his statistics in general, just for his college career itself, they really graded him high in the aspect of his position, and so people are saying that he's one of the top tackles in Eichenberg or in the country. You know what I mean? So obviously that's a good pickup, and you build from the trenches and work your way out, and
Yep,
that's how you win games. You know.
yep.
So moving on from Miami again, that's just one thing that I wanted to call out from them. Shout out to my boy Dan. He's a Miami fan, and I gotta say y'all did pretty good. And that's coming from a Pats fan, all right.